Bilt rent day is coming, Prime Day overload, Qatar's new rule, and Chase is taking back credits. All of that coming up right now on MTM Travel.
Some people say Qatar. No, that's wrong. I don't know.
So happy Prime Day, Mark, or Prime Week, or Prime Month, or whatever is going on. But it is the Prime celebration that we have at least a couple times a year now. How many days of the year are Prime Days now?
It's crazy. This is like almost a whole week, 4 days. So more than half of a week if you look at it that way. But when the Prime Day first came out, it was actually a day. And then it does seem like it's randomly, sometimes they just throw a one-off Prime Day here or there, or maybe it just changes depending on the year. So it feels that way. But yeah, this one is really stretched out. And I kind of miss when it was only one day as somebody that covers it, because diving into this every single day just ends up costing me money.
Do I remember right that you've been covering it since the beginning, right? On Miles to Memories, when it started, I think that you were covering it there. So we've been doing these rundowns forever, but yeah, you got to see all of the changes along the way.
Yeah, I took a couple years off when I was at Travel on Points, just because they didn't cover Prime Day there. And I like it. I like covering it. I think people find a lot of value in it, and it's a pain in the butt though. It takes hours just like combing through stuff, trying to find good deals, and then creating a whole list of it with links that go directly to it and all that stuff. But I think people find value in it, so I'm willing to do it. And it was much better when it was 1 day or 2 days. 4 days, it gets a bit much. But I did notice the 2 or 3 years that I didn't write about it, I didn't spend as much money, because you do have to comb through it. The setup they have for it is horrible. It's just kind of like a TJ Maxx, where you go into and there's just a rack of clothes and you have to dig through to find the one thing that you might want to buy. So Prime Day is just like they throw spaghetti at the wall and you have to scroll and scroll and scroll and scroll, and it just gets exhausting. So hopefully this helps people if they're looking for a certain type of item. Maybe I hit it, but it's also hard to know what everybody's shopping for. So I just kind of go, all right, what do I find interesting? What would I buy? Or what do I think a lot of people would find interesting, and go from there.
So Mark does have a full coverage, and we'll put links down below so you can go check out what he's found, what his favorite things are, the different deals that they have. And, always check prices, right? Sometimes Prime Day prices aren't better. Sometimes a item goes on sale all the time. Sometimes there's some items I bought, like some security cameras that I bought over the years, that they're always on sale on Prime Day. So I just wait for that, or they'll go on sale for Black Friday or whatever. So there are some opportunities to do well there, but there's some credit card things like American Express Points. So it has a new round of promos. What else is there out there?
Yeah, there's Discover promo, Amex cashback promo. There's also, if you have like the Prime credit card, there's 10% on select items back instead of the traditional 5. And what I like that they do with the Prime card is they'll do like, hey, if you slow ship this, if you wait a week, we'll give you 7% or 8%. They give you like an extra spiff instead of how they used to give you those like digital credits for slow shipping if you have the credit card. And they still do that for people that don't have the credit card occasionally. Not quite like they used to. I remember raking in like $10-20 a month in credit. So we were just renting movies right and left for free all the time, buying movies, stuff like that. But with this, it's just like, all right, yeah, I'll wait 4 days and I'll get an extra 2 or 3% on this purchase. So it ends up working out, or at least I hope that it ends up hitting my account. I never go back to check to make sure that they do it right.
So there's also, buyers groups in the space. A lot of people use that to juice up their spending. And Black Friday, obviously a big time, Q4, everything with the holidays. But this sort of gives the Prime Day in the summer, usually gives a nice opportunity too. Have you heard any rumblings about how good that's been this year?
Yeah, and for people that are watching that have no clue what a buyer's group is, it's basically you buy an item. This seller says, "All right, I want to get a lot of these. Let's say it's a TV that's $100. I can sell them for 125, but I can only buy so many." So they enlist all these people from around the country. They buy all the TVs. They ship it to the person. Then they pay them the $100, whatever it costs. Sometimes it's a little bit below what it costs, and then they turn around and sell it and try to make a profit that way. It's been going on for a long time and all different kinds of stuff. But it's a way for people to get more credit card rewards or hit more sign up bonuses, stuff like that. And it's technically a business. You're buying something and then you're turning around and selling it. You should keep books like it's a business, and then you can sign up for business credit cards because of it. And Prime Day used to be huge for these, and I would see like, oh, it's already 10 a.m. and I've done $20,000 in purchases. And I don't really see those comments anymore. I don't know if you have, but it seems like buyers clubs overall have kind of just gone by the wayside, or they're not as profitable. I know they used to be some deals that you could make money on buying it and other deals that were break even. It seems like a lot of deals are you're giving up 2%, 3%, 4%. And if that's the case, it might not be worth it to you because the rewards you're earning probably aren't offsetting it.
Yeah, I think that just with everything else, it's probably more mature. There's more people doing them, and I think there's a limited capacity. A lot of times, a lot of these electronics were getting sent overseas, so maybe the markets have changed for that. For example, in the early days, like tablets, like Kindle tablets, things like that, would get shipped overseas, and they couldn't get them for that price. And I just wonder, with so many people in the hobby now, is there less opportunity for that? Whereas every opportunity is just more saturated, more people looking to do it. Other ways of earning points recently have died as well. So maybe there's just more people. I do know some friends who are still doing pretty well with buyers groups just in normal times. I haven't talked to them about Prime Day. I think it's, always a good idea if that's something you're interested in, to dabble. We always say start small. Trust is an issue. Buyers groups have gone out of business, and then, you could be out product where you haven't been paid yet. So there's all sorts of data points. And this is where like networking, going to an event, meeting people is always a good thing because it just helps you kind of get a better lay of the land. Although I have met people in person who then had buyers groups that went out of business and left
Yep.
people stuck. So that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Always protect yourself and stay within your comfort zone.
Yeah, and there's all different kinds of buyers groups. Like there's products buyers groups, what we're talking about. There's gift card buyers groups where you buy a gift card sometimes when they're on sale and you sell it back to them. And in the the heyday of gift card buying was when you could buy a $500 Best Buy gift card and turn around and sell it for $495. Now, if you're buying this at a grocery store, you're earning fuel points that you can use or sell. You're earning, or like if you're in the Midwest, a Meijer, you're in when they run promos, you're in $50 in Meyer bucks. So you're basically getting $50 in groceries for $5. And then you're earning the three times or 3% or 4% back on your credit card purchase. So it was like just a way to like print money, print points and get discounts on. I mean, there was one summer that I had like thousands of dollars in Meyer bucks. So we're just going by, hey, kids, what do you want? And then we ended up donating a whole bunch of toys to Toys for Tots and stuff like that because there was just too many accounts to use. So we ended up doing that, and that was fun too. And those have dried up, but that was the case of let's say they were selling Apple tablets, iPads for $250. That used to be like the deal when it was 249.99. People would want to buy them. You're limited to one or two per account, something like that. But if you checked out with you could do it as a guest and check out with a gift card, and then they couldn't track it as well. Where if you used a credit card, they'd link it to other purchases, stuff like that. So that's why these buyer groups would buy them, sell them to other people that would then in turn buy these products with the gift cards and then would ship them overseas. So I think all of that's kind of dried up, and maybe that's the problem with buyers groups too, is just like you said, the overseas stuff is kind of gone by the wayside. But there's also mint coins and a whole bunch of other stuff like precious metals. There, if you are into something, there's probably a group buying stuff for it.
Yeah, a lot of people have been doing gold over the last couple of years, Costco gold, things like that. Obviously, that has been a highly volatile market, which I think did well for a lot of people for a long time. So things change constantly, but yeah, getting in person and meeting people and figuring out what your comfort zone is and hearing what other people are doing is always a great thing, which leads me to this plug that I have to do. Last call for tickets to our Detroit event, October 23rd and 24th. A full seminar, a weekend of fun, hanging out with us should be a fun time.
Yeah, we'll learn a couple different ways to either profit from these betting apps and things like that, or you can maybe earn miles and points from them. And then we also just added a Saturday evening kind of happy hour fun thing. It's going to be at a place called Barcade that has all these old games, and there'll be a drink ticket, some food, some tokens, all that stuff. So we have something going on Friday night, Saturday seminars, Saturday evening. A lot of fun, chance to meet people. In the Saturday evening portion will be sponsored by QCGC, which we had a partnership or an ad a couple weeks ago. You might have remembered. He's one of these gift card buyers. that you can sell to and earn extra points. And Taylor will be joining us that weekend, so he'll be there to ask questions to and meet in person, all those types of things. So that's pretty cool that you get that access to them, and you can bounce ideas off of him and kick the tires, see how it works, and hopefully that's useful to people as well as everything we learn. Everybody should make a little bit of money in the process that hopefully offsets a portion of the ticket, all the ticket. So you'll get the food and drinks for free and then some knowledge, hopefully.
And you get to see Mark in person in all his craziness, and then I'll just be in the corner. No, it'll be a fun weekend, and we're going to be hanging out, and not just for learning, although that's always what we want. We want you to leave with more knowledge than you have, but we also want you to leave with the memories and the fun of the weekend. And yeah, we're both looking forward to this. So just a handful of tickets left. We'll put a link down in the description. Hope you join us in Detroit. So let's do a few quick stories to round out this news show for Miles and Points. Mark, Bilt Rent Day is coming on July 1st, I hope. I hope it's on the 1st. Just kidding. Always on the 1st of every month. And this month, a Hilton Honors transfer bonus, right? Up to 200% depending on your status. So is this worth it is the big question. I'd say probably not.
No, I mean, if you have a specific redemption in mind that you know that you're going to get a decent rate, then potentially, if this was like an American Express bonus because they already give you an increased rate, then it would probably be worth it. But at 3 to 1, if you have top tier status and you buy up, that's how you get the 200%. So we're talking three Hilton Honors points to one Bilt point. That's only worth like 1.2 to 1.5 cents if you value them at zero point 0.4 to zero point 0.5 cents. So like half a cent is kind of peak value for Hilton points. I mean, there's occasional one-offs where you can get like a penny per point, upwards of that if it's a premier property and rates are insane and there's still standard awards available, but that's pretty limited. So I don't think most people would find value in this. These type of promos hopefully get the regular people to transfer, so Bilt saves money and gives us the better promos for like Alaska and stuff like that. But it's just crazy that they would do it at 1 to 1 for Hilton. Amex already has it at an increased weight 1 to 1.5, and then we saw them adding the leading hotels, I believe that's what it's called, at 1 to 2, which is okay. But I mean, City used to be 1 to 4, so we're not really doing too great there. Those two programs, I'm guessing, sell their points at lower valuations. So you would think Bilt would give a little bit of spiff off of that.
Well, I can hear them defending themselves now. Not every month can be a blockbuster transfer deal, and they want to reach everybody. But yeah, I don't think that this is the most lucrative one, and Hilton points aren't, like you say, I think their cost is less. But did I just hear you say something bad about Bilt? I don't think we've heard that in a long time.
No, I mean they have like every third month. It's not a great month for rent day, and that's okay. Like you said, it's not going to be every time, but I do think that they missed the boat a little bit here. If we're getting value at less than half a cent per point, I have to assume that they're buying lower than that, or at least at that. So that's a terrible rate for us to be getting 1 to 1 on. I would love 1 to 1.5. And then if we're talking like 200%, we're talking 4.5 to 1 with these transfer bonuses and top tier status, if my math is correct, and the buy up and all these hoops you got to jump through. That would at least be intriguing. 3 to 1, not intriguing.
Well, let's move on to Chase and all the big changes that they had with the Sapphire Preferred. One of the good changes is that the hotel credit jumped from $50 to $100. And it seems like Chase is being a little bit more stingy with the credit, or they're looking at it more carefully, because anecdotally before, if you had used the credit and then you canceled the hotel reservation, they wouldn't claw back the credit. But now it seems with this new $100 scheme that they are dotting their I's, crossing their T's. And if you do cancel, according to Doctor Credit, they are now clawing back the credit.
Yeah, and we saw this with the Delta credits on the Amex cards. It used to be that you could make a reservation and cancel it, and you got to keep the credit, which never really made sense because those are bigger credits. Those are $150, $200 type credits. At $50, okay, maybe they turn an eye because they're like, whatever, it's not a big deal. When it's $100, that's more than your annual fee. I could see why they pay a bit more attention to it. I mean, all along they probably should have been paying attention to it. I don't have a problem with them taking this back. That's the way it should be. Like, you shouldn't just get it for doing nothing, especially if you had planned to cancel all along. I know some people just have to cancel because things come up, and probably didn't expect to keep the credit, but they did in the past. So it's just good to know that that's not an option anymore. If you're coming up towards the end of the calendar when that resets, then you're going to want to book something else to make up for it. So don't wait till the last minute just in case you do have to cancel. But $100 is a lot easier to use. So I think this is a decent trade off.
Technology is our enemy, Mark, and they're figuring it out. Although I think that this is just a reminder that any credit, any sort of loophole in the system where a credit posts when it's not supposed to, or something's in a gray area, if they want to fix it, they can at this point. It's just a matter of if not when, or them just sort of allowing stuff that they won't officially allow, but they know about. And there's just very little getting by them. And yeah, like you said, it's just probably got, okay, with this new thing, we got to focus on that, and it's really hard to get mad at them for making you use the credit as intended.
Yeah, and that's a big reason why I grabbed the Charles Schwab card the other like a week ago. I could have waited till the end of the year to do the triple dip, but I don't really find a lot of value in the triple dip anymore because the Amex airline incidental credit has been kind of neutered in the loophole ways that we used to use it for Delta, and that was my main go-to, and then United Travel Bank. And I think Southwest is next because there's some stuff you can do there. So I got it now because I'm like, I'd rather get it now when I know Southwest still works. I'll get at least that one, and I'll quadruple dip or whatever the hell you want to call it, quintuple dip the Resi credit and the other useful things that I get from it instead of trying. It used to be going for the Amex incidental airline incidental credit, and now I think the other stuff is a better use of it. So I wanted to do it right before July, so I could cash out some points and then get that one extra spiff off of it.
All right, and one last story, and maybe this is a sign of things to come with more airlines. Qatar Airways added restrictions on award bookings, and
Not Cutter.
basically they're I playing both sides here, Mark. I'm playing both sides of the Qatar Qatar game. But now you have to have basically people in a friends and family pool. And I think that in order to add them, you have to have had an account for 30 days, and they can't have an existing account or something. So the rules here are very strange. I think probably not a ton of people are in this program or are using this program. It is a sister program, though, to British Airways and Iberia and other programs like that. So maybe we will see more of this. Airlines like some of the Korean airlines, I think, also have these restrictions to family, and it becomes a little bit more difficult to book, and they require levels of, proof and stuff like that. It's just got to be because of fraud, right? Just selling miles and fraud. That makes me think that that's why they're doing this.
Yeah, and I think that I understand why they would. It's just a question of like making it too difficult for people. It's kind of annoying. Like if they have the same last name as you, it should be somewhat easy to do and things like this. It's just a barrier to entry. But I know each Avios program has something kind of unique that people like to use them for. I mean, British Airways, if you pooled points, if I remember this right, it's been so long since I used Avios. But I feel like if you pooled points which was always kind of a cool perk of the program, where you could add people and then any points, any Avios they had would go into one pot and you could use it. But then you could only book for people in the family that you had in your pool, if I remember correctly. Like you had to break away from it if you wanted to use, like if I wanted to book my mom and she didn't have an Avios account, she wasn't in my airline, my family pool group, then I couldn't do it for her. And I always found that kind of annoying too. So there's gives and takes with these things, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw this happen more often with how many people just are selling miles or booking for people for cash, things like that to take advantage of it.
Yeah, I have to think that the vast majority of the way miles and points are being used is for friends and family, right? People that you know close. And so, from an airline's perspective or a program's perspective, I can see why they would want this in order to prevent the sale of their miles. And I think cyber attacks, things are bigger than ever. So people get access to your account, book themselves a ticket, book somebody else a ticket with your Avios, not necessarily even selling from their own account. All this stuff is happening all the time. And it's probably costly. Like we don't get numbers for that, but I have to imagine fraud is prevalent. And like the one case of I got hacked my JetBlue account and they bought a bunch of stuff. And I think luckily we were able to stop it, but JetBlue instantly gave me all my points back. And I wonder how often they're having to compensate people for this type of fraud.
Oh, I think it happens quite a bit. And I mean, we see it in all things gift card fraud. I got a Speedway store card that just got hacked for $400. If you buy Visa gift cards or MasterCard gift cards, you've definitely run into a hack here and there. And it's just, there's so many scammers out there that programs have to do what they can. I mean, we've seen it with packaging of gift cards, how they've tried to make them more foolproof for people for ripping them off, and as they get better, the people come up with a new play or new way to do it, and it's a constant battle.
Yes, it is, but they're still making billions of dollars, Mark. So I guess we shouldn't complain too much. All these years, all that gift card fraud, and yet there's more and more. And so the industry is heavily profited from all of this. But let us know what you guys think about any of these changes we talked about today. Prime Day, what did you buy? What sort of deals did you find? What is your favorite way to do it? Were you targeted for all those? I got 40% off on Amazon across a lot of different accounts. So make sure to check those out as well. I'll put links down for all the articles in the description. We do 2 shows a week. We'll be back on Tuesday with another show. Plus, check us out on Vegas as well. Thanks so much for watching. Talk to you next time.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
The captain has turned on the seatbelt light. Please take